Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's third video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 14 days for today's third video. Day 10 will take us to the 18th of March, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS Ensembles. Make it around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at CFS V2 for April at the end of the video, and I shall get some of that for you in a moment. Just save that first. Video release today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we've also released January Friday as well. So if you could please check out both of those two bits, like, share, and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. We're going to be live at 10:30 with the pub run. So, pub run live coming up later on. Penultimate pub run live, actually, for this season. Well, I shall see you a little bit later on for that, maybe. Right, so let's start off with a chat. Just to confirm that solar winds are still in reverse. The blue line here for Weather is Cool, showing that we have got a strong reversal of solar wind at 10 HPA, 60 degrees north, continuing. And if we put in the GFS Ensembles, they're showing that this reversal of solar winds is set to last and actually intensify in a few days' time, going down to near record-breaking levels in terms of the weakness of solar wind. Maybe a little bit of a recovery right towards last stages of March. That's a very long way off, though. So a strong, sustained reversal of solar winds continues for the next couple of weeks at least. The SSW Southern Stratospheric Warming event goes on. Central temperature is looking like this. We're currently sitting at 5 degrees, which is 0.7 of a degree below the 61 to 99 average. That is provisional to yesterday. No, that's provisional to the 6th of March, which of course is going to be Wednesday. That's provisional to Wednesday. Though there seems to be like a 48-hour delay or something going on with CET at the moment. Oh, that's provisional to the 6th. Right, these were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. Red line 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off close to average at the moment. Going to go a little bit colder through the beginning of next week, but a cold snap on the way next week for a recovery in the upper air temperatures takes place. They've got a lot of scatter. You'll notice the thick green line here, that is the GFS 6 operation run. Actually becomes really quite cold through various portions of it, especially later on when it turns into quite a significant cold outlier. And precipitation-wise, so reasonably dry next couple of days, but totally more unsettled later in the weekend. And then next week, well, probably not too bad early next week, but then perhaps more unsettled again later next week. Nothing overly dramatic going on, I have to say, either with temperatures or precipitation for the next couple of weeks. Temperature anomalies showing me 16th of March, close to or slightly above average. Precipitation anomalies showing me 16th of March. Average in the south and the west, drier than average in the far north and northeast. As I say, nothing overly dramatic going on. Really. Latest Windflow Map from earthnullschool.net shows that high pressure dominating over Scandinavia, and we're bringing the wind from the east. Had this been January, had we got lots of cold weather or cold temperatures over northern Europe, then this would have been a freezing cold easterly wind. As it is, it's March, and there's not much cold sitting over the continent, so it does have a chill to it, but it's not as cold as it could have been. Right, let's start going with chart data then. This South Latest UK Met Euro run is looking for midnight on Monday. Low pressure crossing the Wales, bringing more rain there. High pressure blocking to our north and winds in from the east. Only next week we pull up more of a southerly southwesterly, so it starts to turn milder through next week, but will still be unsettled. Which want to go that way. And that's the setup as it gets to the end of UK Met run. So winds from southwest, relatively mild, but still rather showery. Icon again with those east winds on Monday, and then we're into those southwesterlies for the middle of next week, relatively mild but still unsettled for high pressure starts building around Iceland, and we start to bring the wind around to a cooler east or northeast. See, that's the 15th of March, starting to try and block up low pressure in the Atlantic. The KMA from South Korea looks like this, really quite wet and windy through the middle of the second half of next week. Then high pressure time we go building out Scandinavia again to pull in some colder air from the east before we return back to milder southwesterlies once more by the 20th of March. Goodness gracious me. And then we've got the GFS midnight run. Again, winds are in from the east on Monday before milder southwesterlies return by Wednesday, but still unsettled with low pressure bringing further rain at times. The deluge just goes on really with GFS midnight run all the way to the very end of it. 24th of March, low pressure just still driving in. This hour 6 looks by comparison. Now, we know it's going to get cold in the end. Let's see how that happens. Starts off with those east winds, then turns milder. Winds from south-southwest. West and windy for the second half of next week, relatively mild as well. Heading up towards day 10, we start to get some ridging in the North Atlantic, and that then begins to develop into a proper blocking feature around Greenland. So you start to push a low pressure average southwards, bringing the wind from an east or a northeast direction, turning significantly colder then as you go through the third week of March, with a proper old northeast. So that's the 22nd of March, a long way out now, 348 hours away, but we've got a proper block around Greenland, low pressure around France, and in between bringing those winds from the northeast. They are cold northeasterly winds as well, with minus 10 Celsius iceberg into Scotland. Dare I say, that could bring some late season snowfalls there. If it verified, which it probably won't because it's a long way out, but if it did, it could bring some snow. That's how we look as we get to the end of GFS 6 then, under this trough of low pressure, cold and wintering. This is the kind of time frame we're thinking about when we might get a tropospheric response to the SSW. So maybe it's a hint of that response to come, but it is a very long way out, and so therefore we need to stay cautious about it. If you're enjoying the video, then please you like, share and subscribe. Thanks so much everyone for doing that, and why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our bits of content. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. We thank you so much everyone for doing that. We need to put on around 70 subscribers to get to 18.1k. So if you could give us a sub, tell your friends and family to subscribe, that would be incredible. We will thank you so much for doing that. Right, the GM, again with a wind coming in from the east on Monday, then further low pressure heads in from the Atlantic through the middle part of next week. That brings mild, wet and windy weather in with it. Up to day 10, probably a bit different with higher pressure over and to the east of the coast. So, looking a little bit drier and milder and more spring-like, I think, with the GM compared to most of the mild output today, which is much more unsettled. And then the ECM looks like that again. Low pressures over southern parts of England, high pressure to our north, winds coming in from the east. More low pressure keeps on coming through the second half of next week. Further bouts of rain on the way then. And then heading up toward day 10, we just have this shallow area of low pressure, which brings further showers and or longer spells of rain along with it. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. Rain piling up from the south this weekend and into the start of next week as well. We're under quite a bit of wet weather then. And I say, had this been January, had we had all that cold air that we had in January over Northern Europe, all of that would have been snow. That would have been a real snow event for England and Wales there. It isn't, so it's just a load of cold rain. As we go through the middle of next week, things do start to dry out for a couple of days, but turning more unsettled again as we head up towards day 10, with further bouts of rain piling up from the Atlantic once more. This is the option on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 18th of March from the Icelandic Met Office. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM Ensembles, all of them with high pressure to the north, or a reach to the north anyway, low pressure to the west-southwest, and so relatively mild, but probably unsettled really, with winds in from southwest. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Will get us to the 23rd of March, 16 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure to our northeast, low pressures out to the west, so probably still rather changeable, and if anything, relatively mild with that. Winds coming in from the southwest, but 15 going in the same direction of GFS 6Z, with ridge of the Atlantic going up to Greenland and a trough over into the east country. That brings the wind in from a colder east-northeasterly direction So that's going in the same direction as GFS 6. They've got 11 with high pressure, bring relatively dry and mild conditions across the country, winds in from off the Atlantic. And then we've got 9 again with high pressure blocking around Greenland, Iceland, trough of low in over Scandinavia, and winds probably coming in from a cold northerly or northeast direction. So if we put the 9 here, together with the 15 here, that gives us 24. And so the majority actually perhaps going towards a colder direction at 2 weeks out, which again is around the time frame we're expecting to possibly get a tropospheric response to this sudden stratospheric warming event. But we'll see. Right, CFS V2 for April. And then we're done. So this is today's latest 700 millibar height anomaly idea. Remember, these charts do change daily. Today, we're seeing high pressure blocking around Greenland, Iceland, low pressure to the south of it, and winds coming in from a northeasterly direction. So basically, continuation of what we've just been looking at, to be honest. And the temperature anomaly, therefore, is about average, not particularly big deviation either way, and no signal for rainfall. I reckon we could get a cooler than average April with that though. We shall see. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Make sure everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our bits and content. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Now, we're going to be back at 10:30 with the penultimate pub run for this season, so I shall see you a little bit later on than that. And just to tell you what's coming up on the channel over the weekend. Tomorrow, we're going to have a 6 a.m. UK weather forecast. We'll have the EC 42 day. We'll have a weekend forecast and a 10 to 14 day. And then on Sunday, we've got the 6 a.m. UK weather forecast again, and we'll have the second update for summer. We're looking at winter to summer data this week for that one, I think. And then we'll be live at 6 o'clock, so we'll have our 10 to 14 days live, and we'll put some long range in with that as well, I'm quite sure. So live stream coming up at 6 o'clock on Sunday. I shall see you for that. But don't forget, Pub Road Live coming up for you tonight at 10:30. Right, when you enjoy the rest of your Friday afternoon / evening, I shall see you later on, baby. And for this one, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.